Bueno, el doctor Maskin ha accedido a contestar 3 preguntas del público. Nuestros compañeros están ahí con los micrófonos.
Bueno, is there anyone to translate my question? You? Okay, profesor Maskin, usted ha mencionado que la teoría de implementación puede decirnos si cierto goal social puede ser implementado por un mecanismo. Y si la respuesta es sí, también nos dice cómo puede ser implementado. Pero, ¿existe investigación sobre el espacio de mecanismos disponibles de forma que pudiéramos estudiar los mecanismos disponibles en sí mismos, en lugar de intentar esperar a formular la pregunta correcta para que la teoría de la implementación nos conteste si existe el mecanismo correcto?
Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, you want me to comment on classical mechanisms, say the market. You can think of the market itself as a mechanism. Of course it is, because if we have a free market, the participants are just the buyers and sellers in that market, and their collective action results in an outcome. And that is a mechanism in precisely the same sense that I've been talking. In fact, I should say that Leo Hurwicz got into mechanism design theory precisely himself. In fact, he created the field precisely because he was interested in a debate, a very interesting debate that took place about markets back in the 1930s between two groups of very interesting economists. On the one hand, there was a group following Abba Lerner and Oscar Lange, who argued that the market mechanism gave rise to too many market failures. In fact, we know that there are many goods, such as public goods, which are not well provided by markets at all. Also, markets where there are important externalities do not deliver good outcomes. And so Lange and Lerner argued that we should do everything by central planning. This was an intellectual argument for a centrally planned or a socialist scheme, because at the very worst, a centrally planned scheme could replicate what the market did, and in cases of market failure, it could do strictly better. In strong opposition to what Lange and Lerner were saying, Ludwig von Mises and Friedrich von Hayek said that central planning was absolutely hopeless as an idea because it would require too much information. And furthermore, it would require information that the central planner could never get. In order for the central planner to be able to calculate an optimal allocation, it would have to know citizens' preferences. But as we saw in the Alice and Bob examples, citizens don't always have the incentive to provide their preferences in a non-manipulated way. And von Mises and von Hayek recognized that. And that more or less killed the longer learner argument for centralized planning, and in fact, we saw just a very practical example